Hey guys, it's Amberly. Today I wanted to talk about snake constipation, just because it happened to come up in my situation. So I'm going to show you guys two techniques you can do to help your snake clear its bowels. So Dante here hasn't poopied in a while. Usually they'll go after they shed, but sometimes they just don't go. That's one thing Ken and I don't keep in our log, is when they go to the bathroom. But as we can see, maybe, Dante here has a very kind of swollen butt. It's really bulbous, and so we're going to try to take care of that. So the first thing we can do is let them go for a swim. Fill up a tub or a sink, depending on their size, with just a couple inches of water, also depending on their size. It should be about room temp, just above room temp. I like to do mine around 75 to 80, because it seems like what's comfortable for them. Maybe some of you have noticed that your snakes like to go in their water dishes. This may be frustrating to you, but it's natural for them. The warm water here can kind of be like a heating pad on somebody with cramps. It would loosen things up. So we're going to let Dante swim around for a little bit, and hopefully he'll have a bowel movement. Afterward, a lot of the solid stuff will sit in the bottom of the tub, so you can drain the water, remove the solids, and then of course, clean out the tub very well. Another thing you can do if this bath method doesn't work out is what people call rat lax. It's whenever you take your frozen thawed rodent and you use a syringe or a medicine dropper or even a straw, and you dip it down into mineral oil or vegetable oil, and then you insert that oil down into your frozen thawed rodent. You then feed the rodent to the snake. When the rat is digested, the oil is released, and it acts like a lubricant for them to be able to move their bowels. If you only feed live, I don't know what to tell you about the rat lax. You could try it if you really wanted to. I don't think it would be very humane, but they're being used as food anyway. But I doubt you'd be able to get oil down inside them without them really fighting or freaking out. And then if they're scared, they could bite your snake. So Ken and I only work with frozen thawed. So for us it would be easy. We have a syringe we can kind of squirt down in there. Like I said, you could use a straw, kind of the same principle when you were a kid and you found out if you put your thumb at the top, you could pick up all of your soda. It's kind of like that. So you could use that method to insert any oil into a frozen thawed mouse or rat that way, if you don't have a medicine dropper or a syringe. So this process does take a while. The reason why snakes get constipated is because they eat and then they don't poop. Obviously, it's the same for everybody. But the different thing with them is they also have to digest fur matter and bone, which can clog them up even more quickly. If your snake has belly heat, chances are they're going to be laying on the belly heat, which could potentially bake the stool inside of them, which also can really complicate things. Dante is on back heat, but it just seems like he hasn't pooped in a while. Usually they'll poop after they shed. Dante shed about a month ago. He usually goes once in between sheds, but he's going back into shed. His belly's looking a little pink. He's a little dark, as you might be able to see. A little dark for a pinstripe. And he just has not gone yet. And as I said, his tail's very bulbous. It almost looks like a gravid female where all the fat's been sucked out of the tail. So we're hoping here that he'll eventually let loose and go ahead and do that. You'll be able to tell when they start lifting their tails up, and usually the tail will poke out of the water and then they will release. His tail looks like it's kind of poking up, but it's just at an angle. It's still under the water. Another important thing to remember is that because we are using so little water, it gets chilled off pretty quickly. This water is actually still pretty warm. Probably got another couple minutes before I would have to drain some and add more hot. The motion of their tails kind of whipping back and forth when they're swimming also helps loosen up the stuck stool. And just an FYI, if anyone's ever been curious, snakes do fart. When I was giving Grim lots of baths during his respiratory infection bout, he hadn't been eating, so every time I put him in the water, he'd lift up his tail and just fart. And fart, and fart. If their tails are near their faces, that is one sure sign that they are not going to poop. It's whenever they try to get their heads as far away from their tails as absolutely possible that they will try to go. Ooh, that's a good sign. When the tips of their tails start to wiggle back and forth like that. That's a sign that they're getting ready. Usually I let them soak for 10-15 minutes, 20 if they really need it. But after that, it feels kind of like a failed cause. And then whenever he gets fed on Wednesday, I might be doing the rat lax method if he doesn't go now. Up, there we go. Come on. Can you get some more? Yep, there's some farts. Oh my god, Dante. Come on, try to get the poops now. Try to poop. I know you can. Come on. I don't want just urate. I want all poops, too. See his tail's coming out of the water. He is getting up, up, up. Attaboy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you done? Oh my god, Dante. Oh my god. You must have been really backed up, huh, buddy? And they'll let you know they're done when they kind of pull their tail away from whatever's going on. Alright, buddy. You done? You trying for more? You are done. Maybe. You want to come out? Yeah, I bet you do. So that's a tinky one. Alright, so now you're going to get your snake out of the water before he decides he wants to go look at the damage he's done. Oh my god. That is like a dog turd, dude. Come on. We gotta get you wrapped up in your towel. Now we've got our snake wrapped up in our towel. We gotta take care of that. So, stay here, buddy. Stay on mommy's lap, okay? So now we gotta reach in. Try not to touch anything. Definitely gotta clean that. And as I said before, the water should all drain and leave the solids behind. That is monstrous. And my battery is dying. So just in case, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go clean that up, and I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, if you liked that video, check out our other videos. Also, don't forget to rate and subscribe and comment and all that down below. And Chester says please.